I never imagined trust would become a weapon in my own marriage. Not a conversation to fix, not a problem to work through, a weapon. And the night it happened, nothing felt unusual at first. I was sitting at the kitchen table going through emails. My wife, Emma, leaned against the counter scrolling on her phone. We'd been distant lately, not fighting, just drifting. Two people living under the same roof but walking in different directions. I knew it. She knew it. And I thought distance was fixable. I didn't know she had something else in mind. She set her phone down, looked at me with this strange mix of excitement and challenge and said, "Tonight, I'm going to sleep at my ex-boyfriend's place. It'll test your trust in me." I honestly waited for the punchline. A smirk. A laugh. A "got you." But nothing came. Her face didn't flinch. The room went cold. "Come again," I said. "You heard me," she replied. "If you really trust me, this shouldn't bother you." She said it like she was suggesting a movie night. Emma was never reckless. Never cruel. Not the type to dangle another man's name in front of me like a dare. But somewhere along the way, between routines, silences, and mischances, we both changed. She changed more. "So let me get this straight," I said slowly. "You're going to your ex's apartment. Overnight. And this is supposed to prove my trust." She crossed her arms. "Exactly. And what does it prove about you?" She rolled her eyes. "Why does everything have to mean something? Why can't you just trust me? Why can't you be secure?" Secure. That word hit harder than anything else because security wasn't the issue. Respect was. And that's when something inside me didn't break, it settled. Like the final piece of a puzzle snapping into place. "I trust you enough to be honest," I said quietly. "And you know what? I failed your test." Her eyebrows shot up. "Failed?" "Yes. And since I failed, I'm divorcing you." That cracked her confidence. For the first time she looked unsure. "Wait, what? You're being dramatic." "No," I said. "I'm being clear. If this is what you consider a test of trust, then our marriage already ended. I'm just accepting it." She laughed nervously. "You're ending our marriage over a test?" "No. I'm ending it because you thought this was acceptable." She opened her mouth, no words came out. She expected me to beg. She expected me to fight. She expected me to swallow whatever she threw at me like I always had. But the man sitting at that table was tired. Not of her, but of giving up my dignity to keep a peace she didn't respect. She paced, clutching her phone. "You're overreacting. I'm not even going to do anything with him. It's just a test." "It doesn't matter," I said. "The moment you turned loyalty into a challenge instead of a choice, you answered every question I've been afraid to ask." Her face flushed. Anger, embarrassment, fear, all tangled. "This isn't fair," she whispered. "Neither was what you tried to do," I replied. For the first time in a long time I felt calm. Not angry. Not broken. Just calm. I stood up, letting the silence fill the room like a truth neither of us could avoid. "I'll pack my things tonight," I said. "We don't need a fight or a scene. You made your choice. I'm making mine." She froze in the doorway, panic creeping into her eyes. She had always been confident in her ability to pressure, provoke, or test limits. Now she realized those tactics had lost all power. I went to the bedroom and began packing a small bag. Just the essentials. Enough to remind myself I wasn't trapped in someone else's experiment. She hovered in the doorway. "Where are you going?" she asked, voice small. "Somewhere I can breathe," I said. "Somewhere I'm not being played with. Somewhere I'm respected." There was nothing she could say to undo the clarity she'd forced into my mind. Some moments don't need arguments. They reveal everything on their own. I slung the bag over my shoulder and walked toward the door. I paused, looking back at her one last time. Not with anger. Not with bitterness. Just understanding. The woman I loved had left long before I did. I was only catching up. Her eyes filled with tears, the realization hitting her like a slow collapse. She finally understood what she had lost. Not just a husband, but the man who had always chosen patience, loyalty, and love. I stepped outside into the cool night. The street was silent, and for the first time in years I felt unburdened. Not angry. Not humiliated. Just free. Free from manipulation. Free from tests. free from love disguised as control. I drove to a friend's house, lay down on the guest room couch, and for the first time in a long time I felt clarity. I felt self-respect. Some relationships aren't meant to be repaired. Some tests aren't meant to be passed. And some people will never love you the way you deserve. I hadn't failed anything. The test had failed her. And that night, I walked away with the only thing that truly mattered. My dignity.